Indiana Disability History Project, Indiana Institute on Disability and Community, Indiana University. Muscatatuck Oral History, Leland Verrick, June 8th, 2004.
It's June 8th, 2004.
Yeah.
And this is Leland
Verrick. I used to take the clients at the hospital every day. I had all the jobs. I would work on 5A and went to the whole, them modules over there.
In the modules? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I worked in the nursery and everything.
Wow, that's neat.
And I used to work in the kitchen.
You did all kinds of stuff when you were out there.
I used to take them down the kitchen.
How old were you, Leland, when you first got to Muscatatuck? Do you know?
I don't know.
Were you a little kid, big kid, adult?
Big kid.
You were a big kid when you got there? So did you live with your family before that?
Yeah, I mean, put me out there.
Do you remember when you went out there, when you first got there?
I don't know what day I went out there.
Do you remember going out there with your family and them dropping you off or whatever?
No, my foster mom dropped me off.
Oh, okay. So you're living in a foster home and they took you out there.
No, I was living with my foster mom in my hometown.
Which hometown was that?
New Albany.
Okay. And so then you went to Muscatatuck.
Yeah.
Okay. And about how old were you? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Were you out of school when you went there?
Yeah.
Did you go to school in New Albany?
Yeah.
How many years do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. So you went to Muscatatuck. What do you remember first about going to Muscatatuck? What are some of the first things you remember?
But they used to give me jobs. I signed up for jobs out there, working for the clients stuff, and mop the floor stuff, put in the bed, put diapers, bathe them, all that.
So you worked a lot with the other people that lived there.
And then what's attendants.
Yeah, you worked with the attendants?
Yeah, we used to take them back there and bathe them and all that.
When you talk about them, were they little children or were they people your age?
Yeah, we were like tenants. Used to work on modules. I used to help them.
Help them bathe people?
Yeah.
How old were the people that you were working with?
I don't know.
Were they little kids or your age? Or older than you?
Doing like in a wheelchair.
Okay.
But they could have been your age.
Yeah.
They just needed a lot of help.
Yeah, we put them in bed, we did.
Mm-hmm. Did you like doing that?
Oh, yeah, I got paid for it.
Good.
I made a lot of money out there.
Uh-huh. So what'd your foster mom tell you about going to Muscatatuck? Did she tell you what it would be like when you went there?
I wasn't too bad out there.
But did she tell, before you went there, did you go visit it and see what it was like?
No, I just stayed out there.
Just went out the first time and just stayed when you got there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you stayed out there, did you have your own room or did you share rooms with a lot of other guys?
Dormitory.
Dormitory.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about the dormitory.
Oh, it was a great big one.
A lot of people in it?
Yeah.
What was your room like?
That was like a dormitory. We had all the beds made.
So all the beds were in one room?
Yeah. That's why they closed all them modules down, because they're going to close it up.
So there were a whole bunch of beds in a big room? That's the way it was?
Yeah.
10 of them, 20 of them, more?
It was more.
Lots. Huh?
It was like 4 rows of beds.
4 rows?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all men?
Yep.
Did you have some good friends there?
Yeah. And every night I used to get up, get my commissary book every weekend, go to commissary, get my stuff, and every night we mop the floor. We can watch TV every night before we go to bed.
What was it like living with that many people in the same room?
It don't bother me, I like them.
What was it like, though? I've never lived with that many people. So
They had 2 rooms like you. If you get bad, they lock you up for it.
What's getting bad, and what would be an example?
Like if you take off something, they have to go get you, and they lock you up for it.
Like if you left the campus or left your dorm or something?
Yeah, and they lock you up.
Where would they lock you up?
They got 2 rooms inside the building. Like you go in the hallway. They got 2 rooms in the dormitory. And it's cold.
It was cold.
Yeah.
Did you ever get locked up?
No.
Did you know anyone that did?
Yeah, a bunch of them did.
How long did they have to stay in the lockup?
For a long time until they learned to behave.
What they say about it?
They didn't say very much. They brought the food up for them.
What was tell us, start us off at the beginning of a day and maybe walk us through a day. What was a day like for you? So you'd be asleep and did somebody come in and wake everybody up?
Yeah, you have to get up every morning for breakfast. But if you don't, a supervisor comes in and wake you up.
Okay. And about what time was that? Do you remember what time?
No.
6, 7?
On what time you get up?
Just early, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, and then so you get up, did you shower or just go to breakfast?
Go shower and stuff like that.
And then you went off to breakfast.
Yeah.
Did you eat in the dorm or in a cafeteria?
Cafeteria.
Was it good?
Yeah.
So you'd walk down to a cafeteria from your dorm?
I used to work in the kitchen.
Yeah. Doing same kitchens?
Yeah, doing dishes for them.
Uh-huh.
But I worked on a food truck, taking food down in the kitchen.
You did a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I made good money.
Yeah. How old are you now, by the way?
57.
57. Okay.
I'll be 58 this year.
Okay. Because we first met in about 1970, it'll be a little bit later now, about 1981 or 82 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 83. So I would have been 32. You're a little bit older now. You would have been about 37 or 8 back then, something like that.
Yeah.
When we first met. Okay. So you lived there from sometime when you were like a teenager, you think?
No, yeah. And I got out. I did.
Yeah, I'm thinking that when I first met you here, you were just here. You had just gotten to DSI. Is that right? Is that about right? You lived in a group home?
Yeah, I was living in 2 groups home and I got out.
Okay. How old were you when you moved out of Muscatatuck? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
30-something is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How'd you happen to move out? Did you just want to, or how'd you happen to leave?
I went to a group home up here.
Did you tell the people in Muscatatuck you wanted to get out, or did they just say it's time for you to go, or what?
They let me out.
Yeah.
Was it your idea? You said, hey, I want to go somewhere else.
Yeah. And they let me out. Just talked to me from Muscatatuck, so I'm living up Commerce now.
Uh-huh. Did you work in the workshop in Jennings County when it was there?
No.
You don't
Here.
Here. This is the only workshop you've been in?
Yeah.
Well, tell us some more about the work you did. Tell us some more about working with people that you did.
I would take them over to the hospital and all that.
They probably missed you once you left. Sounds like you did a lot of good work.
And I made good money.
You make as much money here?
Yeah.
So you're still making good money.
Yeah, we are.
So,
Leland's been one of the people in the workshop here for a long time. He does
Yeah.
so what was it like at holidays at Muscatatuck?
Oh, we used to get Christmas presents every year. Christmas.
And what was that like? What would you do? Would you have a Christmas tree and everybody decorated it, or?
Yeah. They used to pass our presents out for us.
Did your foster family ever come visit?
No.
No. No. Okay. Do you have any other family around, or?
No.
Okay. So your group home was, all those people kind of became your family.
Yeah.
What were the staff like? Were the staff good to you?
Yeah.
Did you have favorite staff?
Yeah. We could stay up and watch TV all night, but we had to go to bed.
Well, because you had to get up early, right?
Yeah.
So you needed to be rested.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the staff names that you liked? Any people that you worked with? That you
I
enjoyed?
remember now.
Yeah.
That's been a long time ago.
Yeah. What did you like about living there?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's really nice.
Is there anything special that you enjoyed, or?
We used to go out on the porch every night, sit down,
They have chairs for you to sit on out there, or?
benches.
Yeah.
So picnics and things like that happen in the summer?
No. We used to go out to camp.
What was camp like?
Oh, it was really nice.
What'd you do at camp?
Oh, we went fishing and stuff.
Elaine, would you have been there in the time that it was self-sufficient, you know, where you guys you grew all your food and had your...
No, they paid for our own food. We don't have to pay none of it.
But was it still a farm? Was there still some farm when you were there?
Yeah, but they closed that down too.
I was trying to remember when they closed that down. Was that in the 50s or the 60s, or... So you wouldn't have been there then.
You might have just gotten there.
When they were
Yeah.
closing it down.
Were there still cows and stuff out there when you got there?
Yeah,
The barns where the animals lived, and
yeah.
did you ever do any of that work?
No,
Who did that work?
the people there,
Okay, staff or people who lived there?
people, I think the staff there.
Were there were they raising crops, corn or anything?
No, they was getting milk for us, have milk, drink.
From the cows that lived there?
Yeah,
Okay, so somebody was milking the cows, huh?
yeah,
But you didn't do that work.
nope.
What about women that lived there? Would you have women who were friends that lived there?
I didn't see any women. I was on the boys module.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't see any women at all? You guys didn't eat lunch or dinner together?
Nope.
Go to camp. Pretty much kept you separate, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
What was that like?
Oh, it's very nice.
So you like not seeing the women?
Yeah.
Was there anything you didn't like about living out there? Were there things that bothered you?
No, it was okay.
It was okay. People were by and large pretty much all right with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've lived in your new place for a pretty long time, probably 20 years, you lived in Muscatatuck maybe 20 years, and you've lived in the group home 20 years. Which, if you had your choice and they said, okay, you're going to move again, would you want to stay where you are, or would you want to move back to Muscatatuck?
Nope. See where I'm at. I can't go back there because they're going to close it up.
What if you could go back? What if they weren't closing it?
They are closing it. Because, see, the government's closing that up because they're going to get everybody out.
Why do you think they're getting everybody out?
I don't know, because they're going to close it up for something.
Did you like it well enough that if you could go back there, you would ever want to go back there and live?
No. I'm going to take where I'm at.
You like it better here?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Well, tell me about your new place. How's it different than living at Muscatatuck? I mean, obviously, there's not 4 rows of beds.
Oh, it's real nice.
How many people do you live with now?
I'm only living by myself.
Oh, so that's a big difference for you, Leland.
I got neighbors on where I live at.
Well, do you like that? Do you like living by yourself?
Yeah.
So that's probably a lot more quiet.
Yeah.
Just you versus, I think when we have a house full of people, how noisy it is. And if we're sleeping in 4 rows of other men, I bet that all that snoring and yelling and talking is probably pretty loud.
Yeah.
I guess you get used to it, but I bet it was different than what it is now.
Can you remember a story or something that happened out there? Just something that you liked that was a good story about maybe going somewhere or some, a party or anything that happened to, like a birthday or go visiting?
No.
When you were out there, what did friends, the people that you got to know, did they ever leave before you did?
No.
No, you were one of the first people, you think?
Yep.
Was it sad to say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah.
Well, Steve and I are trying to put together a bunch of stories. And basically, it's just people's memories. And that's why, I feel like we're asking you all these questions. And we're hoping is that maybe one of these questions will help you think of a story so that we have Leland's story.
Yeah.
Instead of, Steve and Jenny asking Leland questions. So we're asking you all these questions to try and maybe help jog your memory. But what we'd really like Steve was saying, if there's a story, if there was a person that was special to you, if there was something that you can remember.
I don't remember nothing out there when I moved out. It's been a long time ago.
Yeah. Was there a person that you liked working with, one of the other clients?
I used to work by myself at the time.
So not all the clients got to work with other clients, right?
No.
So you must have been, like if you look at jobs, it must have been at a different level or a different rank than some of the other people that live there.
Yeah.
Did you see much of that? Were there a lot of clients that got to help other clients?
No.
So just a few, like you.
Yeah.
Did you think the other clients were treated as pretty fair?
Yep, like I was.
I was just thinking about holidays, Leland, and you told us at Christmas you got presents. One of the things I know was a big deal out there was Halloween.
Yeah. We went to a Halloween dance out there. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Halloween.
Oh, not very much. I didn't go to Halloween. I stayed home.
Oh, you didn't go to the dances?
No, I stayed home.
How come?
Oh, I didn't want to go. Ted said I didn't want to go, so they didn't make me, so I just stayed on my module.
Okay. You didn't have to?
No.
What were some of the rules that they had out there?
I don't know, a bunch of them.
Yeah, tell me a couple of them.
I don't remember now.
What were some that you had to follow? Were there things that you had to do?
That I had to follow the rules out there.
Like, you said one is you had to stay, there was places you could go or couldn't go.
That's right.
You said you couldn't run off.
Yeah. What else besides you couldn't run off?
I don't know. Stay around the module.
Okay. You talked about being able to watch TV, and how'd you, with lots of people in a room, how'd you decide who got to watch? Or what
Who was cleaning the floor up? Who was mopping it?
Who was mopping got to decide?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So if there were a whole bunch of people in there and you were watching, do you remember the shows you watched?
No.
But if you were just on Sunday night, if you were watching the TV, what if you had a disagreement and the guy sitting next to you said, I want to watch the other show?
They shut it off, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't decide?
No.
Okay. Church on Sunday?
No, I didn't go to church. I stayed home.
You didn't go. Some people did?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you play any sports while you were down there and go outside?
I played baseball, that's all.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Did you have a team, or did just whoever showed up?
Yeah, we had a team.
Yeah, Special Ollies?
Yeah.
Olympics? Still do that?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore, too old?
Yeah.
Me too.
What position did you like to play? Did you pitch or play second base or outfield?
Outfield, I imagine.
Good hitter?
Yeah.
Any home runs? Get some people in?
Yeah. Base hit, that's all I did.
That's good.
What was the best thing there?
I don't remember nothing out there now.
You remembered a few things. You already told us a few.
Yeah.
Was there anything you really liked?
Oh, it's okay.
How about the food?
Yeah, it's okay too.
What do you remember about eating?
It's pretty good.
What they had?
I don't know what they have out there.
You said they had milk from the cows.
Yeah. They have breakfast, that's all they had.
Did you stay in the dorm the whole time you were there?
Yeah.
Or did you ever move into a smaller unit?
No, the dorm.
You stayed in the dorm the whole time.
Yeah.
What did you ever? You said sometimes you would leave though. You said once. You said that
You have to get permission.
Oh, okay. And then where did you go when you went?
Oh, I went out, walked around, came back.
Did you ever leave without permission?
No, I asked for permission.
You were good. Huh? You followed the rules.
Yep.
Okay. Did you ever know anybody that passed away when they were out there, that died while you were there?
No.
No. Okay. What happened when you got sick?
I had to go to hospital.
Did you go there or go somewhere else?
I had to go to hospital.
Where was the hospital?
Muscatatuck.
Oh, okay.
So the hospital was on grounds.
Yeah.
Do you remember being sick?
No, I had a tooth pulled
Where did that happen?
at the dentist's office
Again, on the grounds or somewhere else?
on the ground.
Okay, you didn't go into town and get it done?
No,
They brought in a dentist.
Did you ever go into town?
no,
Never?
no.
You got to go to camp.
Yeah,
Where was camp?
And remember where the camp was?
no.
There's a camp right on the edge of the ground. It's kind of behind,
So it's on grounds too?
kind of back. It's on the
Yeah.
Muscatatuck River. It's on a reservoir. Yeah, there's a reservoir.
Yeah,
Camp Holland, that's right.
yeah.
And you got to do what when you went to Camp Holland?
I don't know, fish probably.
Mostly fishing. You remember the fishing, huh? Did you eat any of the fish you caught?
Yeah.
Nah, I just caught them. Yeah, throw them back.
I like to fish.
Yeah. Did you ever see movies when you were there?
No.
They didn't show any movies?
Yeah, these were moved, but I didn't go.
Oh, okay. You just stayed in your room, huh?
Well, now, someone told me that you guys used to do musicals there, and there was a bowling alley there. Were you there during that time?
I didn't go to the bowling. I stayed on the module.
So you never left?
Nope.
You're not socializing. You go out and do things now?
No. My own apartment I do.
Yeah? You ever go out and go bowling or go to movies here?
No.
Not much, huh? Come to work, go home?
You have friends over?
No.
Fix dinner for anybody?
I worked back in the shop doing Walmart boxes. That's about it. Oh, God.
Well, you said you were asking me about a woman that works here.
Yeah, sure.
And then who was the other person? Your friend? No, your girlfriend.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Liz, yeah. You and Liz go out and do things?
Yeah, we do want to walk.
Good. What do you guys do?
Walk sales, that's it.
Go where?
Walk sales,
Garage sales. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you get at garage sales? What do you do around here?
pump of stuff.
What do you like to look for?
I don't know.
Special things?
Yeah.
NASCAR stuff? Or
No, I don't buy that
I
stuff.
don't buy NASCAR stuff. No sports stuff.
Well,
What does Liz look for?
she buys stuff I don't. I just look around.
Yeah. What does she buy?
I don't know, ask her.
Okay, maybe I will. All right, we bothered you enough today?
Yeah,
Have we? All right. Can I come back sometime and ask you some
Yeah.
more questions, though?
that'd be all right.
You've been great. Thanks.
Music, Redwood Trail. Produced by Indiana Institute on Disability and Community Center for Health Equity. Funded by the Indiana Governor's Council for People with Disabilities. Copyright 2019, the Trustees of Indiana University.